everybody. My name is Diego Melo at StratiVentures. We are a local real estate implementation team that has helped hundreds of real estate investors learn everything from investing all the way to exit strategies. But most of all, we love to inform everybody in our community about what's going on. I have here Pedro Alcedo. He's one of our instructors and also an investor within our company. And today what we're going to be covering is what's happening within the real estate industry during this COVID-19 period. A lot of people have called us, they've left us messages, and they want to get some answers to some questions. We're very happy to give our information out to the general real estate industry, and hopefully this is something that people can get a lot of good information from. We're also on every social media platform out there: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Everything's under StratiVentures. So please go ahead, subscribe, like us, and let's go ahead and get started. So welcome, Pedro. Let's go see if we can give everybody some good information.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
A lot of our SVI members asked us questions to what is happening to the real estate industry.
Yes.
Would you say, Pedro, that right now the real estate industry is going through something that it's never gone through before?
I think right now on my opinion, right now we're going to the not knowing what is going to happen, you know? So far, what I've seen out there is that people are still in needs of selling their houses, the ones that are in needs. We still have realtors and wholesalers doing their job. We still have investors doing their job. Actually, I see a lot of people on Facebook asking like, hey, do we still have buyers here? Because I have a property that I need to sell. So I think right now on pricing and the conditions are still the same, because the repercussion in the coronavirus and everything that's going on is still to see what
it's still too soon.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, one of the things that we do at SVI is we mitigate risk and we learn what our exit strategy is going to be ahead of time. So like you said a second ago, is we're going into a territory that we've never been in before, so we really don't know what the exit is going to be. Yeah. The only thing I can tell you is planning. Make sure you're planning ahead. Yes. So a lot of our members in which we instruct and also in which we help guide in active projects right now, we're going to talk about certain things that we see are vital to that. One of the first things is length of time. So right now we're noticing and already starting to forecast that our actual flips are going to take longer. We have to consider the fact that sellers now are going to be a little bit more standoffish to sell. The same thing, wouldn't you agree that the back-end buyers are going to be a little bit more concerned about investing in real estate, or actually, you know, sitting with whether they're going to buy a property or not?
Yeah, that's one of the things that worries me the most right now as investor. Because I can still buy a house today, and probably that house is going to be ready to go on market again in 3 or 4 months, or maybe 6 months. We don't know, right? Because as you said, rehab might take longer now. The problem for me as investor right now is I don't know in 6 months if people are going to be able to buy a house. Right now, a lot of people are staying home. Maybe a lot of people are losing their jobs. So I don't know the conditions in 6 months. So what's the price I should consider for my ARV right now for when I'm going to sell the house in 6 months? You know, we already talked to one of our lenders, an SBI hard money lender, and they are already recommending to the investors and to their clients to get ARVs lower. So we buy the houses on a lower price. So even if we have to take a hit, we're prepared for it.
Make the adjustments.
Yes.
You know, and I know exactly. We were on a call with that hard money lender, and their adjustments now went from their standard loan to values or loan to cost is of their 70 percentiles. They're actually going down to 65%. Yep. Now that's your lender talking to you. That's the lender telling you, we want to make sure that we're safe on the financial end and lending side. We also want to make sure that you're safe on the investment side. So with that said, we're really letting a lot of our SVI members know that you have to start adjusting your price points. So let's start talking about how many people in the city of Houston or surrounding areas, and also in Dallas and in San Antonio where we have SVI offices, there's a median price point of home sales.
Yes.
Would you consider as an investor that we might start looking at the lower tier, lowering a little bit more our after repaired values, because there's going to be probably more applicants or people that are going to be affording these types of lower price points.
Yes.
Now, would you say that because interest rates are low, it is drawing a lot more people to apply for mortgages? Now, we spoke with one of our conventional lenders, and the rates, man, they've actually increased by 25% the amount of applications that are coming for new home sales, but the value of the loans have decreased. Mm-hmm. So we have to listen to the money, right? We have to listen to the conventional lenders.
Whoever has the money makes the rules, right?
That's the golden rule, right? Yeah.
So if my lender is telling me, hey, don't set your ARV too high right now, then that's what I want to do. Probably applications for mortgages right now are increasing, but as I just told you a minute ago, we don't know in 6 months. Maybe my situation in 6 months can be completely different if I'm applying for a mortgage now.
Yep.
So I know the banks and lenders and everybody are already prepared from what happens in 2008. Mm-hmm. So I don't think they're going to let that to happen again.
Right. Their adjustments are still the same. Yeah. They're still W-2. Yes. They're still bank statements. They're still looking for all of that type of verification of employment.
And another thing is, since 2008, we only have an increase on the market, right? So we were expecting a correction any moment, and actually we talked about it 2 years ago.
Correct.
In a healthy market, whatever the market is, real estate, stock market, whatever it is, for that market to be healthy, it has to be a correction.
Correct.
It cannot go all the way up in at once, Mm-hmm. So we were expecting that, and maybe this is going to be the starting point for that correction. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to be investing in a house right now, and then we're going to have a correction to be. Correct. For me, I'm a flipper, I'm not a buy and hold or a landlord. So I need to be really careful with that, with those values of the houses that I'm buying.
Absolutely. Now, also looking at the numbers. So one of the things that when we're instructing our members is to consider the fact that before this COVID-19 impact, we always were looking at an average of around 15% of the after repaired value to be our profit margins. Well, we can still obtain that, but now our adjustments have to be made on some of the costs that we have. We're looking at some of the cost benefits that we get from some of our network contractors. Yeah. They understand that if they reduce some of their costs, some of the material adjustments, where they inflate the material cost, we are actually making money on that component. Mm-hmm. Also, some of our realtors, I'm really happy that StratiVentures has a lot of great realtors that they've adjusted to some of our members, or the majority of our members, they've adjusted their commissions. I mean, it's rather they do something now or not anything. And so At the end of the day, you look at a 1% cost saving and a 10% cost saving on the contractor and also the realtor side, you might still hit that 15% of the profit margin. Yeah. Now, one of the things that also is very important is understanding at StratiVentures we have rule number 3, right? What's rule number 3?
Don't be greedy.
Yeah, don't be greedy. It's better right now that you as a business owner understand that you have to constantly be keeping your business in motion. Whether you're intaking opportunities or you're actually conducting business to turn a profit. Making a penny right now is making a penny. Not making a penny is absolutely something that can really hurt your business model.
Yeah, it's better to make 15 or 20% of an apple than make 0% of a pineapple. Right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, one advantage that I think our members are seeing, and people should really in the real estate industry see, is that we have 2 components that are very important that bring us business. We have our realtors and we also have our wholesalers.
Yes.
I'm really not that scared on our realtor side for the fact that they're always the first line of defense or the first people that our potential sellers or who are our clients contact first. They're always going to reach out to a realtor. A realtor is always at SVI going to be representing us, which means that we're not just an investor out there making our own offers. We always come with a realtor There's always a lot of credibility that comes with that. And most of all, there's an understanding that we are here to make fair offers as the direct back-end buyer to that seller.
Yeah.
Now, that means the realtor is going to be able to make money on the front end when they make our contracts, and also on the back end whenever they sell our home. That's where I believe something's going to happen in this industry really fast, and I see it already happening. Wholesalers. We receive properties from wholesalers all the time.
Every day.
And would you agree that probably in the past 3 years, there's been such a massive influx of wholesalers coming into the business?
Yes, a lot of people is coming to the business. We have a lot of education out there that they don't really help people. They just throw a bunch of information out there, and then people go and thinking they know what they're doing, and they actually don't.
Right.
So we don't only have a bunch of wholesalers, but we'll have a bunch of wholesalers that they don't know how to pull comms, they don't have MLS access, they don't know how to estimate rehab or repairs. So their deals, I mean, I can get probably 20 emails every day, and not one of them is a deal that makes sense. You know?
Right.
Not even to make an offer that can be there in the numbers. That tells me that there is a lot of people. Actually, I was talking to a wholesaler yesterday about a property, and he was pulling comp from Silo, I think, or so his comps were a little bit off on what I got from MLS and from Realtors that we have in house. So and every day when people think like, hey, I'm going to jump into real estate investing because this seems so easy, it's not only the education that we have out there right now, but also the TV shows and everything that you see out there that make it seem easy. And actually that's what got me into the business. I thought it was easier. And so, for example, right now a lot of people going out of jobs, so much more a lot of people are going to be jumping into the business.
Absolutely.
And do they know what they're doing? Do they know how to do all this? I mean,
yes,
it's really scary because I can walk to a seller and offer whatever I need to offer to put the house on the contract, but that doesn't necessarily make it a deal.
Well, and that's a very good point. And you know, when you have a saturation point where you have a lot of wholesalers and really not much market share, what most people will accept is what is the best offer. So when you have a lot of wholesalers going out there and making offers to the sellers, it's about who's going to give the seller the best price. Now, let's realistically think about this. If we're the investors buying the back end, getting the assignment and taking on the risk of this transaction, whether we're going to be funding it through hard money, private capital, or through any type of lines of credit that we have, we also have to know that, are we going to be able to meet the finish line with a profit, some kind of profit? Now, when you have that saturation point, we vet our transactions through professional realtors, professional contractors. A lot of our title company partnerships and legal partnerships. We have to make sure we're making a good investment. If you're getting your education from the internet, if you're getting your education from talking to another person who really hasn't done a lot of transactions, it's very easy to get misinformed, but also, like you said, they make it seem like it's very easy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of due diligence, guys, that I really believe needs to happen. Number one, you always should have a very strong starting point, which is an after repaired value.
Yeah.
Now, realtors.
That's what I tell everybody. The ARV is the most important number we gotta have.
Absolutely. Would you agree that there's a retail ARV point that a realtor can look at and you look at, and then there's also an investor after repaired value that we look at?
Yeah, you see that every day. You have the realtors on the retail side, they have a more wide criteria, right? We are investing. We need to profit from that house, so we need to narrow that criteria. That's why sometimes there can be a difference.
Correct. Also, let's look at repairs, right?
Yeah.
So a 3-day workshop, and you've never ever remodeled a house. Does that really make you an expert to go out there and quote material, labor, scheduling, permitting, all of your big ticket items, foundation, HVAC? It can become very, very dangerous.
No, definitely we want a professional that have done this before helping us with that.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the reason, everybody, why we're talking about this is because I think right now is the time that you have a lot of wholesalers that are out there putting properties under contract, which means that seller is a more motivated seller to get out of the property faster. But if we as the back-end buyers are not able to make a solid offer because our data is validated and verified with professionals, but the wholesaler data is not, we can all agree that we're not speaking the same language here.
Yeah.
And we can all agree that the seller is really not going to be able to sell that house fast. So end of the day, nobody gets to buy the property. The seller has to walk away from the transaction.
Everybody loses.
Everybody loses. And going back to my first point here was, I believe there's going to be a lot of wholesalers that are going to be leaving this business. They may have not had the operating reserves to survive what's going to be possibly coming here, which again, we don't know how long it's going to be.
Exactly.
But also it's the mentality that we as the back-end buyers are going to be the ones that would be always making a better offer than the wholesaler. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that's always true. Plus, we know how wholesalers and how investors get properties, right? We have to market. We have to do marketing for those deals. And right now, the more efficient marketing that wholesalers and investors do is not possible. You know, not everybody wants somebody knocking on their door.
No, right now they can't. Right now they can't. You know?
Because of all the situation. So if a wholesaler doesn't have enough budget to change the marketing, or for example, what I like about SBI is not only two guys thinking, you know, we are over 700 people thinking, and everybody comes with a creative, different way on how are we going to do this, because the way we do marketing until 1 month ago or 2 months ago needs to change now, and probably is going to need more budget, probably is going to need different ways, different I don't know. In
partnership strategies, you know.
And most wholesalers are not going to be able to keep up on that.
Absolutely. We're already seeing it. We're seeing that a lot of our SVI members are actually partnering up together to start direct mail campaigns for out-of-state owners. Just think about that. An out-of-state owner is a person that right now can't even travel to their property. Who knows how long it may be. What if that's an asset that they want to let go of? Are they going to work with a wholesaler who in their mind already knows is a middleman? Because there's no covering that up. And again, wholesalers are very vital to our business, but I think right now they have to start edging off and making a better offer that's obtainable for us to buy and for the seller to sell. So we're sending marketing letters like crazy now to out-of-state owners, and out-of-state owners are even asking us now, hey, would you mind going by and taking a look at our property just to see in what condition it's in? And we haven't even been in this in a month, right? So think about 2 months from now.
Yeah, maybe the people, I was going to just talk about that. Maybe the people that are not ready to sell now because they just don't see how it can affect them in 3 or 4 months, maybe 1 year, we don't know. Maybe in 6 months their situation are going to be different. So that's another important thing. Just keep the follow-up.
Absolutely.
A lot of right now evictions and foreclosure are stopped. Right now there can't be any evictions or any foreclosure. But we don't know when they start doing all this again. All the people that are going to be evicted. Then we're going to have all these landlords out there with no tenants. Having to pay for every cost of the on the properties. So a lot of these people, the ones that are prepared, they're going to be fine. But there are landlords that they don't see themselves as a actually real estate investor. It's just a property they have out there for some income. Those people might get in trouble paying their PITI, their taxes, everything. So those people might be ready to sell in a couple of months.
Well, you said a word there, follow-up. You know, statistically what they're telling us, and we've always seen, is that, you know, you have about 20% of the people before this were actually door knocking, actually building relationships, you know, putting a name, a face with a name, and getting to know the actual seller and not just sending a letter. right now,
Make it more human.
right now, it's about the people.
Yeah.
It's about building that relationship. It's about staying in front of these sellers, whether they're distressed, whether they're in your back pipeline. And yes, I said the word pipeline. It's about building a pipeline. We have to start thinking about the future. You know, where is our future business going to come? And if we're investing a little more time, a little bit more information, more effort, we're probably going to get a better seller. Now, let me tell you this, Pedro. You know, we reached out to possibly, I think it was almost 15% of the people that we had reached out to that we did not buy a house from in 2019.
Okay.
We reached out to them to ask them how they were doing. And these were people that called us. We got their contact information. And most of all, we went ahead and sent them some of their actual property report. We get it in a realist report, which you can get that from your realtors. And we literally went through some of the property information that they had no idea about their community, about their neighborhood. You know, some of them didn't know what the marital rate was in their area. Some of them didn't know what the economic average median income was going to be in that area. By the way, that's probably going to change. You know, so in some areas it's going to change. So in their mind, they may have not been ready, like you said before, but not with, we arm them with education and with some good data. We might help them make a decision, and hopefully we're the people that they sell to, because we're not a middleman, and we're going to give them the best fair offer with the best explanation of why we're making them that offer.
Yeah, and we always try to help them before we try to buy the property.
Always.
And I think that's what makes the difference, you know. Trying to help somebody right now, even if they're not going to foreclosure or eviction right now, but they see the interest of the investor on helping them and see if we can solve the situation without buying the property. If we get to the point that we have to buy the property, then of course that's always on the table. That's always one of the options. But always try to help people, and that's the people that are going to come back to us.
Absolutely. I mean, let's think about here also. You know, I'm assuming if you have a loan or if you have some kind of credit card and you're making monthly payments, you've probably received a letter from the lender. Do you need help on your next payment? We're here to help, right? Imagine that. So one of the things that I'm foreseeing, and this was huge back in the 2007 to 2008 markets, was the modifications. You know, modifications are going to start to rise again. These type of requests are going to go back into the lender, and because people are going to need help. Their financial situation is going to change. We want to be in front of that. You know, we want to help people to understand what the modification process is. We want to be there if they really need to change direction. I also heard from a couple of friends of ours that they were starting to see that people are even thinking about when this is over, they've already started to nurture relationships with businesses outside of the state. So some of them might be even thinking about leaving the state in order to go find work somewhere else. That tells you people are thinking anything is possible. Anything is possible. So we have to really start thinking about staying in front of them, you know, educating them.
And another thing I thought about too is people might be leaving some states, but the state we are in right now might be the state where people want to go to.
Absolutely.
People from New York. Sadly, New York has been one of the biggest catastrophes in this crisis right now. A lot of people are going to want to leave New York, and in Texas, Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, Austin. Those are good cities for those people to come. So for us, the people that are in real estate business, that's always good to have, and good to be in a city like ours.
Absolutely. Let's change course here a little bit.
Sure.
And let's talk about now with some active projects. So we've got some active projects going on right now, and we have had conversations with every part of our team. You know, we've had our selections and design director. We've also had conversations with our title company and our contractors. So we've been able to pinpoint a couple things that we feel we have to prepare for. You know, obviously one of those is the slower accessibility of possible manpower. Also materials. You know, there could be a material supply and demand factor. You know, right now, people think we can still get materials everywhere. But let's think about that. We don't know what might happen to the supply lines. We don't know what might happen to material cost.
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing, during Harvey, sheetrock, we couldn't find it. Then all of a sudden, it was ordered in bulk, and now there's too much sheetrock. Do you see? So we still need to understand that we may be hit with some of these things in our projects, which is the slower completion times. We may even have slower draw requests or funding times.
Yeah.
We have to consider those things for our projects.
Well, and you have people. That's the first thing. People are not working full time like we were working a month ago, and right now that can only go worse. The pandemic just hit the U.S. It's been for a couple of months in Europe and Asia, but right now it just hit us, and it's hitting really, really bad. So people are scared. People that don't want to actually go outside their homes and go to their jobs, which are the vendors that we use. Even with our own vendors and our own people, if some of the workers on the contracting side get sick, or Maria on the selection and design department, she might not be able to go outside every day like she used to. So that's going to delay all the projects.
Yeah, and Maria, as our selections and design director, what Maria does is she works with our network contractors. So we as investors and all of our SVI members are there to assess the risk. We're here to look for deals and look for money.
Yeah.
We analyze the risk using our team, getting all the validated information, which allows us to make more offers. Once an offer is accepted, we put into play our network contractor. Our network contractor works with Maria. I've bought properties where I don't even know what the color of the front door is. Because Maria gets a piece of this, looks at the budgets and works, and then says, Diego, is everything good with this? And I'm thinking, I always tell her, you're the expert.
Yeah.
All I look at is the data and the risk mitigation there. Another really important thing, Pedro, that I got to talk to people in the outside world of this are builders. Okay, let's talk about builders right now. Builders are building so many properties. And if their manpower for some certain form or fashion and even materials start to slow down, then that means with the rates being the way they are, people are still buying houses. So if a person has to pick, do we go to a new build house that's going to take a little longer to build, or do we go to a house that's already been rehabbed? Now that has increased our inventory.
Yeah.
On our end, because our competition with builders has always been drastic. You have new builds popping up here and you have a resale here. People are always going to want to go with the new build product.
Yeah, of course.
We saw it in the Heights. We saw it in Oak Forest, in Bentwater. We built a lot of houses in Bentwater, and wow, when
you always want the new stuff.
Absolutely.
For everything.
Yeah, there's warranties, there's craftsmanship, less maintenance. There's so many things there. So we're bringing up these topics, guys, is because you need to consider a lot of things. We're always open to help a lot of people. We're always an open door for questions. All our SVI members have so many systems that they can use to reach out right now at a local level. And most of all, it's having clarity, knowing whether you have support or not. And that's basically what StratiVentures is.
Yeah. And whoever who is out there thinking like, how am I going to get help now, and how I'm going to get all my questions answered, we're still here. We're still going online pretty much every day. We're still doing Zoom calls.
One of the things that we started to do because of the time that we have with in the industry and the changes happening with this COVID-19 matter is that we've been holding Zoom public sessions Mondays and Fridays from 12 to 1. And you can go, and we bring public speakers, we bring industry speakers, we bring experts online in order for you to have somewhat of a town hall forum where you can ask questions and learn. So I really want to invite everybody to join those sessions because it's really informative. We're very happy. Oriana, our social media director, has seen the attendance increase exponentially. So I think we're on the right track with that. So to close here, I really want to talk about is stay in contact with the people that are part of your business. such as your realtors, your appraisers, your title companies, your contractors. Call them, ask them how are they conducting business in this time, because as they're making adjustments, you need to make adjustments to that too. So I really want to thank you guys for your time. Pedro, also, it's awesome having you as an instructor, sir. And you can follow us on social media. We're on every single realm. Please click, like us, go ahead and subscribe. And as we always like to say, the SVI motto is it's a win-win or we don't do it. So we'll hope to see you guys at another time.
Sure.
Here at the end, you're going to see a QR code. Feel free to go ahead and take a picture of it or scan it. And you'll be able to see all our information and also get to know us better. Thank you.